In this episode, I will be posting a series of videos showing how I made the grille on the front of the car. As you know, this is a 2009 Shelby GT500 chassis with a 1970 body sitting on it. When I started the car, my goal was to try to keep the classic style of a 70. So I'd like to keep it looking as much like a 70, but incorporate some of the features from the 09. Specifically, I wanted to keep the drive line, all the modern conveniences from the 09. And I also wanted to try to incorporate a few little touches on the exterior of the body that would be reminiscent of the 09, but still give you that classic feel of the 70. So my first thought was to maybe incorporate the grille from the 09 into the front. Obviously this would not fit. It's not the same shape or whatever. But I was, maybe considering this mesh style and to make a new grille, possibly incorporating the GT500 Cobra that's in there into a new grille. So I made a grille where I bought some wire mesh that was similar shape as the 09, and then I made a frame around the perimeter of it. This is just angle iron or sheet metal that I bent in an angle, and then I shaped the edges with the shrinker stretcher and welded it together, put a 1/8 inch bar down the center. And that grille, I was pretty happy with it. I thought maybe I could incorporate the Cobra in it as well and have this powder coated, and thought it would look pretty good. If you've been watching Facebook, if you've seen this car on Facebook, you probably noticed that most of the pictures have that grille in it. I made that probably between 2 and 3 years ago. After I made the lower valance, I made this grille. And I liked it. I still like it, but I've never been 100% satisfied with it. I also made a lower grille for my opening in my valance, and out of the same material, and did the same thing where I took a shrinker stretcher and made the radius and fit everything. As I said, I was pretty happy with that, but I was never 100% satisfied. So I've decided to move on. I'm going to go with a different style, go back to more of the 70 style. So these pieces will end up being hanging on my shop wall. I'll turn them into wall art. So after I decided that I didn't like that wire mesh, I decided to go back to the 70 style and maybe use that. This is a 70 Mach 1 grille, and it's got fog lights in there. Those are factory fog lights. And I thought if maybe I would make a grille and use those lights as turn signals, because I've got fog lights down below, which are from the 09. Also thought, well, maybe I would try to incorporate this snake in there somewhere. So a few people ask, why don't you just use the stock grille? Well, one, I can't buy a grille for the lower opening. They don't make them. That's custom, so I'd have to have that made or make it myself. Two, the stock grille's plastic. I know you can buy them in aluminum, but again, you can't buy the lower one to match. And then the biggest, or a couple of the bigger items were, I tucked my bumpers. I cut and tucked them so they fit nice, and I made this molding around the perimeter and a new stone guard. And when I got that all finished, these were all running the same angles. This grill doesn't fit that angle. So I wasn't happy with that not fitting. And then the last reason is that the stock grill does not fit the hood. The hood comes across here, and as it comes across, it gets wider in the center, this gap between the hood and the grill. It gets tight on the ends, but it's wider in the center, and I'm assuming that was designed for the hood latch, so you can get your finger in here and pop the hood. That's how they did it on the 70. So I didn't like that gap. Couldn't get a lower grill. It didn't match the angle. So I decided to try to make my own that would be similar to this. So what I did, I bought some 1" by 1/8 inch thick aluminum slats. They're about approximately $3 a piece. Very inexpensive. And I cut and made my angle and made these vertical pieces. I had a friend notch those with he's a machinist, so he notched those. So I made a grill that would fit my opening. It's got the stock mounting points of the 70. It'll fit in my grill opening. And when I laid it out, I made the space between my slats in the center. I gapped each one of them a 1/16 of an inch more than what I gapped the ends. And so that comes up a 1/16 of an inch and back down for each one of those. And I ended up gaining about 3/4 of an inch in the center, which closed that gap up. So now when my hood's closed, this runs parallel with my hood. It also runs equally margins around here. You may ask, so what are you going to do if you don't have the gap? I changed my latch from the stock 70. I don't need this gap anymore. I put the 09 latch in here, which is controlled with the cable. Goes into the cabin and you pop your hood from inside. So I don't need my finger in here anymore. So that closed that up. I can, still put the snake on here somewhere if I decide to. I could put a different label. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I also could do the Mach 1 lights. I could incorporate those and use those as turn signals. But I'm leaning against adding these. I don't believe I'm going to add it. I like the clean look. And I posted on Facebook and had several comments, posted pictures of with and without, had several comments that were in favor of leaving these out. So I appreciate the comments from everyone. It helps me make my final decision. So I'm probably going to delete these. I'm not going to add these. It's going to save me some work by not adding them. I'll end up putting my turn signals either down here, I'll flush them in, or I might put them behind the grill. I mocked up a little piece of paper there where I do some LEDs and put them in behind the slat here. So that would function, you wouldn't see them. It's either that or I'll put these down here. I haven't decided on that yet. I also made a grill for the lower opening. Used the same style slats and made all this up. Cut the ends, TIG welded everything on the back. And so that fits in there nice, and that's ready to go. The grill, when it's done, or I've got a radiator cover here, which is this, and I'll show you this in another video as well, how I made all this. But this will lock right over the top of that grill. And that goes, when that goes down, that locks in there nice. And I don't need any mounting fasteners out here. It's going to be exposed, so that hooks in there. I think that finishes off nice. So the next videos that I'll be showing is steps to make these two grills. Hopefully they'll be helpful. If you're doing a grill similar to this or anything, any application, this could work in different areas. It wouldn't necessarily have to be a grill. I appreciate all the comments from everyone. If these videos are getting too long or too detailed, please comment nicely on Facebook or YouTube. I'll try to adjust my videos either shorter or longer, give you more detail or less detail. Sometimes I tend to maybe ramble on too much, and I apologize for that. So anyway, there's that, and I'll be showing more videos here in the future. Thanks for watching.